Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over the Beaver Super full moon, which will be in Taurus Wednesday, November the 5th, right? We're going to go over that. I have a collective message and I feel like it's important for all of you guys. Oh, that's my cat in the background. I'm sorry. Bills, they can't see you. We're using the Halloween pumpkin background. My daughter carved Scream on the left and my fiance carved crosses. I know. They really don't blend in together, but you're seeing them. So in this video, we're going to go over the Beaver Super full moon. I have a collective message, and then I'm going to go through a few world predictions based off of the astrology. And then the kicker in this video, probably what you guys are really wanting to watch, is the infamous hug between Erika Kirk and JD Vance. I did channel the energies that took place on October 29th between those two and looked at the astrology, and well, you'll just have to wait and see. Let's talk about the channeled message regarding the Beaver Supermoon, November 5th. Very important, because it is in the sign of Taurus. So this supermoon will bring grounded stability. So it's going to be energies that revolve around grounding yourself and stabilizing what needs to be ironed out in your own personal life. It's also a moment to pause, reflect, and strengthen what truly matters. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves what really does matter. I mean, yeah, of course, our children or our pets or our household, but sometimes we matter, right? Sometimes we need to take our own advice that we would give to others and apply it to ourselves. It marks a culmination point, urging you to release what's run its course. Karmic cycles, you've heard that many times. When it runs out, it's time to start something new or not go back and repeat the same thing, that you keep running into the same problem, right? It's time to focus on what's worth keeping. Sometimes we declutter, but we don't completely make it a transition. We clean out our closet. We put stuff in a bag and we say we're going to donate it to the Goodwill or we're going to throw it out, but we end up storing it in the basement. So it's still in the household. Does it make sense? So technically you've moved the bag of items, but you have not cleared them out of your household. So they're still there in some shape, way, or form. And you're going to run into that bag when you go downstairs. So another thing that I keep seeing as I'm talking about this is I keep imaging a beaver. He is preparing his lodge. Okay, the beaver is preparing his lodge. It's time to secure his foundations because wintertime, hibernation. So symbolically, this is telling me it's time for you guys, if you're listening, if it resonates, to secure your foundations, home, finances, inner peace. And now's the time to really focus on groundwork. And that's what I'm here to talk about. The Beaver Supermoon groundwork is going to be very important around the week of November 5th. You could even start it now. Focus on decluttering, whether it's actual cleaning or ridding of toxic people, just whatever, or however it serves your life. Do some groundwork, meditation, some yoga as well to help open up your solar plexus chakra as well as your root chakra, because this specific super full moon in Taurus will affect those two chakras. So here's a little advice for the solar plexus chakra. This one represents your personal power, your confidence, discipline, and self-worth. The Taurus supermoon amplifies, what you've been holding on to or building, testing your endurance and self-trust. So when you think of your solar plexus chakra, associate it with reclaiming your power. So when you see that chakra lighting up yellow, because that's color, the yellow chakra or your solar plexus chakra, think of it as reclaiming your power. It's very important because if you don't have self-worth or discipline, personal power, or confidence within yourself, then how do you think others are going to perceive you? They may see you as being a little still, a little gullible. I don't sugarcoat on my channel. I'm being honest. You want to make sure your solar plexus is not blocked. Then, of course, we have the root chakra. This is all about rebuilding your foundation. It's very important as well. And also, you want to make sure it's not clogged or dulled, because this brings in your balance. So during the supermoon, try to focus on deep breathing. You could practice sitting on the floor with your legs crossed, or do a yoga pose and breathe into your belly or your stomach area. You can eat yellow or red foods. I recommend fruits and vegetables if you're allowed to have them. For example, squash, especially when it is warmed up, is really good for helping strengthen your solar plexus. A lot of people like strawberries for their root chakra, or you could have beets. Doesn't matter. If you're allowed to have it and it's healthy, go for it. It will help unclog those chakras. And you want them to be bright. You want them to spin. You want them to connect with all 7 in your core. In the near future, I will make a separate video on the 7 chakras and how you can keep them beautiful and bright and vibrant and spinning and connected to the core. I have done many works on people and helping them unblock their chakras that are blocked and being able to identify which one. So that's something we may talk about in the future. Moving on to some of the world predictions based off of the astrology and channeling. Keep in mind, what I'm speaking on is not factual. I can't prove it to be factual. And it's for entertainment purposes only because YouTube said so, but I didn't. So threats being made to a U.S. leader and his political figures underneath him. So this would be President Trump and other GOP leaders in danger, such as Rubio, for example. The reason for this is not because of an outside country such as Hamas or Russia even. This is something right here in the United States that Trump is fighting, and it starts with car, tell. Put it together. One word, car, space, tell. That's a big problem, and things are going to get intense. The car, space, tell are not just targeting Trump or people underneath him. They are targeting family members, is what I was being shown. I was getting something with Trump's children, very significantly, male energy there. Trump's children are targets. They are. I would warn him of that. I'm sure he is well aware of it. Rubio, JD Vance. You know, it's really strange. I don't get him being so much a target, but he needs to be careful. This is significant, and it's not going to be good news because the car, space, tell, don't play, not a topic I'm going to cover. I will say this. I don't wish harm on anyone, regardless of whether they are a Democrat or a Republican. But in this case, it's very serious. It's something the charts are indicating, and I'm feeling it strongly. It's more family members versus the actual political figures that I'm actually concerned about. All right, so let's hope nothing happens. Again, I'm getting a male masculine underneath a prominent figure that needs to be very careful. I just see bounty on him. Ugh. Not everything we see is pleasant, but we have to speak it if it's shown multiple times and it's on our hearts to do so. The next prediction, all of November, December. Europe. I don't care where you are. Europe, listen to me. You are going to get a wake-up call. It's like you're going to be in this dead sleep, and you're going to get this whisper, wake up now. And it's like watching Europe walk through the fire. A stripping of denial, a reality, a strong reality of what it is. It's like a karmic cleansing is how it was shown to me, where truth, politics, and destiny collide all in one. And you guys all need it. I'm talking Europe as a whole, not just one country. I know France will be one of the top ones in this tier, but it's not the only one. Ireland, yes. I'm seeing just different countries, Sweden, Finland, the UK, oh man, London. And I want to say this. I know you guys had a train incident over in the UK. There's going to be another incident that's going to follow what happened on the Amtrak or the train in the UK. There's going to be another incident over there that's going to cause chaos, and people are going to stand up. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I do see another incident where a citizen is killed by another person, and it's going to cause outrage over in the UK. I'm getting something with London, but I could be wrong, but it feels to be in that region. It's going to be a horrific passing of someone who's unalived. I have to use that word. No, I'm just going to say it. Murdered by the hands of someone who doesn't belong there legally. Moving on. This is a unique prediction. The Roman goddess by the name of Juno Moneta. It's Juno, and then the last name is spelled Moneta. She is a Roman goddess. For some reason, I was connecting her name, not to mention Juno is an asteroid, but this name is going to be significant, very important in some way, based around a political figure. And the political figure, it does feel to be connected to the West. And I want to say the United States, but I'm just going to say openly the West. And there's something involving income. And I'm not sure. I need to look up Juno and see what she represents as far as in the goddess form, because she's connected to something that's going to happen. I don't think it's happened yet. It's importance based around a political figure. So I don't know, guys. I have no clue, but that came in and I was like, I guess I'll share it. But it may be something named after her. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The next thing I want to talk about is the moon, how strong it's going to be during the Beaver full moon in November 5th. It's going to be very heightened, very sensitive. And so this can bring a surge of visibility. In fact, it's going to bring visibility in one's personal life as well. Things that were covered up are going to be shown. And this is true in the political. Now, I feel like this is connected to, the connection feels to be right here in the United States, the White House. Also, I'm getting pulled into Keir Starmer or someone underneath him. I get a feminine energy underneath Keir Starmer or connected to Keir Starmer. I don't know who this is. It feels to be something coming to light, a visibility being shown through feminine energy connected to Keir Starmer. So there could be several different things going on. So the next thing I want to speak about is November 5th, government agencies, all right, government agencies or even bureaucratic framework could reach a turning point. I hope and pray, if this is connected to the United States, that it is revolving around the government shutdown. And I spoke on this a week ago, that the 4th or 5th could be a turning point, but nothing would be signed and definite until the middle part of November. I said 16th, 17th. I'm hoping that's what this is pertaining to. I'm also getting this connected to the UK. And the charts indicate forced reform. If it's not the UK, I'm getting possibly France with this as well. And somebody has to take public accountability, and it feels to be connected around some type of immigration law. Again, that's not here in the US. This feels to be Europe. Okay, let's move on to Europe again. The West. Keir Starmer and a few other leaders, but let's talk about Keir because he did just give the country U shadow missiles. They are going to badger the polar bear in country R, you know where I'm going with it, to the point he will complete. Listen, he is going to complete what was started by proxy in the country U. So instead of taking different areas and Xanaxing, what I'm seeing is him being pushed and saying, you know what? I'm going into Kiev. We're taking it all. We're taking it all. Because my prediction is between December and February of 2026. So December, 2025 through the first 2 months of 2026, I see these shadow missiles being fired deep into the country R. And R is going to retaliate by going into Ukraine and getting and locating those supplies and just taking whatever they want. So I hope this comes off the timeline, but the astrology is showing that there is a high probability of the shadow ranged missiles that Keir Starmer has sent. They are going to be shot into Russia. At least one of them is going to be shot deep into Russia, and they're going to just be done with it. I don't see the country R invading EU countries, though. Maybe borders like Poland or somewhere like that. Like if there's issues on the borders, I've always been shown that. But right now, currently in this time, in this energy, I don't see a World War III yet. It's coming. Down the line, it's coming. We all know that, but not yet. I don't feel like the polar bear has any interest in the EU countries. He just wants certain parts of the country U. And again, I'm also feeling that Trump feels the same way to some degree, or he would be doing more. The capital of Ukraine, Kiev, I do see Kiev being surrounded. And I also feel like some of the EU countries, including Trump, they are going to back away from all of this by the end of December 2025 because they're going to be focused in their own countries. Trump is going to be busy with the Middle East and also what's going on here we spoke on at the beginning of the video. He's going to be really occupied with that. Let's move on to the asteroid 3 Atlas, or some people call it Atlas 3. I kept seeing this thing, and I put a video out about this a while back, but I see it hitting another asteroid. I see it coming in contact with something. I don't see the Atlas being destroyed, but rather it may hit something and something could break apart on the Atlas, possibly. And I see a bright light, and I was thinking, is this the moon? There's no way this could be the moon that I'm seeing, but it's really close to the moon, or it's going to pass by the moon. But I see it colliding with another asteroid or something up there. Yeah, I think we'll hear about that. I don't know when, but NASA will figure it out. All right. Next thing I want to tell you guys is about Starmer will weather the full moon himself. This will mark the start of a eternal realignment leading into 2026. And I think I've already mentioned this multiple times, but it's showing up in the chart. Moving on to Ireland briefly, I want to touch on Galway, Clare, and Kerry. There's going to be flooding in November, December. Doesn't feel to be significant, but it's showing up. Flooding. The lines run right through Kerry, especially Kerry. Also with Ireland, I see political jolt between November 10th through the 15th. It's going to be shaky over there, but I do see good news coming in, like stability is going to return through compromise by December or before December. So around the end of November, there's a compromise. So just hang on tight. Things are shaking over there, but I see things realigning as well. So now we're going to move on to what you've probably been waiting on. Erika and JD Vance, the famous hug. So let's go ahead and break down the deets here. At Turning Point USA, there was an event that took place October 29th, where Erika hugged JD on stage and said, "No one will replace my husband, but I do see some similarities of my husband in JD." And she had her hands touching his hair and things. I saw it. I watched the video several times, and I know a lot of people are hyped up about it, saying that the two of them are having an affair, and we know JD's married, and she just lost her husband, Kirk, tragically. Let me just add something to this. A hug and a public statement sometimes can show alignment more than a clear evidence of some type of affair or nefarious acts taking place. I just have to say that. Yes, it may look one way when in fact it's absolutely innocent and looks another way. So I'm going to get into what I was seeing and what the astrology says because I did not have Erika's time of birth. But that's okay, because I can look at JD Vance and clearly see what's going on, right? One thing I want to mention, and what I was feeling strongly, is that these two, Erika and JD, they share a strong mutual respect for one another. It's like they are brought together for a mission alignment, is what I was getting, rather than a promiscuous love affair of some kind. So therefore, the probability is low, in my opinion, and the hidden intimacy markers are weak in his chart. I could say that. There's also a lot of moon empathy, which represents comfort, shared sentimental values, with Venus-Mars detachments. And that brings in caring and admiration, but it does not bring in private romance. Let's break down some of the astrological factors here. Late October 2025, some of the transits really stand out. We have Venus in Virgo. And in this case, it is debilitated. It is representing affection, misunderstood, and judged. Now, if the Venus was not debilitated, then I would say there's a possibility of affection, and there's not a misunderstanding. In this case, it is completely 100% debilitated here. We also have Rahu in Pisces, along with Ketu in Virgo. Again, it brings confusion and projection by the media or by people in general who are witnessing it. And they're projecting falseness or perceiving it one way and really truly believe it is an affair happening, when in fact, most likely it is not. The Venus-Mars between the two of them are weak. It's very weak. It's barely connected in the charts. It's not hidden either. It rules out affair. My analysis of this whole thing between Erika and JD, based on the astrology and what I'm feeling, gut intuition, channeling, there's no indication at this time love affair, nor do I see one in the charts forming, because Venus is very weak between the two of them. It's more of mutual respect, emotional respect, shared mission, and public misunderstanding of how the two may have interacted on the stage or how she interacted with JD. I do not feel that they have been intimate. So therefore, I feel comfortable to say there's no intimacy now or in the near future. So after listening and hearing all the controversy between JD Vance and Erika and this love affair thingy, I wanted to dig deeper into Erika's future through the Hore astrology, based on what could happen to her in the next 1 to 2 years. And I felt Charlie, his energy so strongly, and I know that he wants Erika to be happy again and aligned with someone she's compatible with, and I believe that he's in charge of that up in heaven. I know he's looking down on her and the kids. I know some people don't care for her for whatever reason. I'm not making no judgments. I did not pick up anything nefarious or feel like she was behind her husband's passing. I don't get that at all, to be honest with you guys, but I do feel that Charlie is preparing a soulmate or another person to enter her life. So again, new partnership. Jupiter enters her partnership house mid-2026 through 2027. I was getting most likely a Republican connected to conservative or faith-based leadership networks. That showed up in the chart, but I'm also seeing a conservative, and he does feel to have a lot of faith or religious aspect about him. And this would be someone most likely that we already know, that's already in the media, already in the news in some way. Maybe he's not huge famous, but we have heard of him. He is a public figure behind the scenes, I do believe. I also see them meeting through a speaking engagement, kind of like what we saw with JD and Erika, but it will not be JD. They become friends and things become personal over time. The man that I'm picking up feels to be 7 to 12 years older than Erika, so he's older. He feels to be involved in some type of leadership, whether it's business, government, and he's also measured. He's measured, not impulsive. And that's one of the traits that she will find intriguing, attractive about this man, is he's not impulsive. I see a taller male, dark hair with some graying around the temples. He loves to wear tailored suits. I saw this man wearing a lot of suits, a younger version of Trump. He also commands respect quietly rather than loudly, so he wants to be respected, but he's not going to be impulsive to get it. I was getting some numerology for him as well. Again, this man that I'm picking up feels to be conservative. I don't know why, I strongly get a connection between this guy and Trump. In some way, they are connected. I don't know how. I don't want to even go that far into this, but anyways, I see her getting with this person. And I'm also hearing JD. Well, I'm hearing the initial J. It's not connected to JD Vance, or this could be DJ. Maybe this is representing music, like a DJ. I'm not sure. I'm unsure of that one. In Erika's chart, Jupiter rules the 7th house, and Saturn aspects it. So you combine those, you have 8 plus 3 equals 11. 11 in numerology is the master vibration of leadership vision. And I'm also hearing initial D. I'm going to say Daniel, but I'm not sure if that's Daniel. What I'm hearing with that is the wise one, JD, or DJ, the wise one. So I don't know what that all means. That's what I'm hearing in my ears, like the little whispers. So again, there could be something to that, or maybe there's not, with the initials and things like that are symbolic. And also what I'm hearing. So that's what I have for you all. Some collective messages, some predictions, and then of course we talked about Erika and JD. I hope you find this video interesting. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like button, comment below, subscribe, cut on your notification bell. Thank you to all of my new subscribers and my day ones. And please be nice and respectful to everyone in my comment section. We are all human and we are all entitled to our own opinions. So let's respect everybody's opinions. I love you guys and thank you for listening.